Caraidean was a Gaelic children's TV show that ran from 1995 to 1997, following Anna and Alistair as they taught local children Gaelic. But behind the scenes, Caraidean had an unfriendly history. This is the story of Ciorstaidh Camara. Ciorstaidh began life in the production line in the Camara factory, model K1R5TY. The Camara was revolutionary for its quality, affordability, and its positronic brain that gave it sentience. It was there she was assigned a job on the set of Caraidean, created and directed by Rover the dog.
I don't actually remember Rover being there for the first few days.
No, he was filming his segments on location. Do you remember? Ailey had to direct.
She was flat out. Rover had her in a chokehold. She was sleeping in the studio, for God's sake.
Douche, Gilly! Douche! Woof! Woof!
Oh, it didn't help that she had an unrequited fondness for Rory. Why?
Rory Grayson was an up-and-coming camera operator in the Gaelic scene in the mid-1990s, following his work on Macar and speaking our language. And in January of 1995, he landed a part on Caraidean.
The day I laid my eyes on her lenses was like no other. I knew I loved her.
Rory began courting Ciorstaidh Camara, bringing her gifts on set.
Hallo, Rory!
Rudi, Flurchen, tappelett.
Flurchen is on Ciorstaidh Camara. Oh, tappelett, Rudi! Donut is on Ciorstaidh Camara. Oh, tappelett, Rudi! At Oanya is on Ciorstaidh Camara. Oh, tappelett, Rudi! Sucht is on Ciorstaidh Camara. Oh, tappelett, Rudi! Chocolate is on Ciorstaidh Camara. Oh, tappelett, Rudi!
Oh, Ciorstaidh Camara. Ciorstaidh Camara.
Rory was my operator. He was the only one that showed me any kindness on the set. It was only a matter of time before I fell for him.
Ailey would always belittle her. It was clear she was jealous of us.
It was my first big gig as a producer, and I wasn't going to let anyone get in my way, especially not a camera.
Oh, Ciorstaidh Camara, Ciorstaidh Camara. Catch vel Alistair? Catch vel Anna?
She was a real bitch to me, but that was nothing compared to how Rover treated me.
When Rover found out about us, he tried everything in his power to drive us apart. He didn't like us fraternising with the equipment. He bullied her, he put pressure on her, he increased her workload, and to top it all off, he destroyed some of the gifts I got her.
I'm dullig. Rudy! Oh, det har Gary Robert.
Show! Crescent is on Ciorstaidh Camara. I enjoyed that.
I mean, she complained about working too hard, but boo-hoo, my whole life was work.
Well, we were all a bit naive about what was going on, really.
Well, we were young. It was our first jobs. So we thought that it was the norm.
This schedule?
I wanted to impress Rover. I mean, he was a talking dog, but he had an eye for biscuits, and Rory only had an eye for Ciorstaidh.
She was in constant fear. She barely slept.
We had to keep pushing filming back. Rover went mental over this.
Ciorstaidh Camara is still asleep. You've got to go now.
I mean, I didn't talk to the camera until action was called. But I didn't like the way it was treated. Me and Rover clashed about it a lot, but at the end of the day, I was his employee, and he made sure I knew it.
By the end of the series, I could barely function. All I could do was rattle on my tripod, so they threw me out.
I found her in a skip behind the studio, so I took her in.
Rory and Ciorstaidh Camara were married 2 months later, but the romance wouldn't last.
By the time she was back on her feet, all the jobs had dried up. She had become obsolete. She spiraled. She started drinking, doing drugs, She even started filming porn because she was so desperate.
Ciorstaidh Camara formatted her card on 20th of April 2004. She was 9 years old.
She called me once, the day before she died. All she said was, "Tapele Druri."
Rover the dog died of a biscuit overdose on 3rd of December 2001.
I still blame that son of a bitch. He deserves to rot in hell.
Rover the dog escaped repercussions for his behaviour on set. He was not a good boy.
It's Misha Ciorstaidh Camara, Gentania my horse. It's Misha Ciorstaidh Camara, Gentania my horse. It's Misha Ciorstaidh Camara, it's Misha Ciorstaidh Camara, it's Misha Ciorstaidh Camara, Gentania my horse.